Go, there's like the 3 teams. Red,
What's
yellow,
Pokemon
and blue.
Go?
Pokemon Go. Stop.
I'm just kidding.
The top 3 teams, their banners are those 3 colors. It's all scripted. I mean,
of course.
It's coming full circle right now.
Is picking up steam straight into the playoffs, and big fan of the Zilean myself. Now the question is, what are they going to pick into the Zilean? Because it does seem like the Syndra is going into the bot lane, and they're going to be hovering this Kassadin down to the wire, and they will pick it up at the 0-second mark. So we will have Kassadin into Zilean in the mid lane. As for the beginning of 2020, it was kind of a boring mid lane, and towards the end of 2019, but slowly but surely, we're having some nice changes, new champions coming into that mid lane.
And this is exactly what I would love to see out of teams, even globally, right? Is more diversity inside of the pick ban phases. Damwon, they seem to match them tit for tat across the board. The Syndra opened up initially, inviting in some sort of a counter pick, and then being pivoted bottom to the Aphelios. Now, we've talked a lot on broadcast. Aphelios very weak to Syndra if you're proficient at playing her. Syndra's also very good against Senna. So she's one of the answers to a lot of the meta mainstays down there in bot lane, and Ghost should be able to find success on it against aiming. The Kassadin coming in on R5, or you're just tuning in for the first time or something, Red 5, last pick on red side, to answer the lack of reliable CC on the side of KT is really good. And if you look at KT's team composition, the Camille, she just has to sort of survive against Aatrox and Elise. Trundle just has to match and counter gank the Elise at basically all stages. Kassadin, he just needs to wait for mid-late game. Syndra and Thresh, in a vacuum, they get to have their way with Aphelios Tom Kench. So enormous amounts of pressure on the Elise. Zilean doesn't have good ult targets outside of Aatrox, but against Damwon's team composition, it's really problematic. So
he will absolutely have to look towards the draft for game number 2 and try to change something up, because that game 1 draft was pretty atrocious comparatively. As you can see, it all starts off with Canyon getting 2 nice ganks from help with the laners, and that really does negate a lot of that early game that Bono was trying to get down.
Yeah, and Canyon, normally he's known for flipping coins, but this time around, he really didn't do that much in terms of high variance plays. Obviously, the Rift Herald play is a team rotation. And Valdez, when I'm thinking about who to give MVP to, I thought really hard about this as the game was ending, and I think I'm gonna give it to Chovy. Take it away.
Oh, well, you know, I think that's a pretty good idea, actually. Why don't I just tack down a little bit extra, another vote there for Chovy. Thanks for the help with the money, by the way.
I gave it to Nuguri in the end.
Yeah, he did some pretty insane stuff on the Camille, and I was struggling because I kind of wanted to give it to Canyon at the same time, but I think Nuguri really ran away with the lead that he was given with the help from the jungle.
Yeah. Well, I felt like Nuguri did such a good job. I mean, he got the flash early on inside of the lane, helped set up Canyon for that just very simple lane gank, coming in with only the pillar to get the ball rolling there. And the split pushing, he also had a lot of mechanical outplays against KT to live at various points. This was so clutch. The response, aiming, tried to hero the game, but wasn't quite able to. And now, take a look at 400 years. Right in front of your face.
Oh, man. You know, we actually haven't had a lot of games where Kassadin shows his true potential, but this definitely was one of them. Showing itself off in the playoffs when it matters so much, especially in a best of 3. And I think this is going to make a lot of teams scared to just blind pick stuff like a Zilean, stuff like, you know, the super scaling kind of weak mid laners, because Kassadin can come out as just
야, 나 봐줘. 나 살았다.
I live.
뒤에 다 잡았어.
I got everybody in the back.
깔끔하게 안 썼네. 실수 너무 많이 했어.
We made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, and it wasn't clean. So
Yep.
it's obvious that Damwon know that they, you see some of those spikes on the gold graph.